Hello. This is Jolene with Joel Design, and we are back this week with a journal with me. And as you can see, I'm prepped, ready to go. I'm really excited about this. We talked about it a little bit when we revealed the Touch of Romance kit that with all the new pockets and tucks and stuffed things that we had created in that kit for the Ode to Jane. That I felt a 2-page spread was definitely in play. I don't know what to do with the whole kit yet. But I definitely wanted to play with just the new tucks and pockets, and we're going to go back and do something a little different than what we did in October. In October, we did a 2-page spread for Halloween, and I love this kit from Shabby Dabby Doodah. I knew that I couldn't do a whole journal. Couldn't do it justice to make like an actual journal. And she was doing a lot of folio flips and things like that. My Porch Prince did something in October. Also with tucks and flips and envelopes and pockets, and so she was my inspiration. And so I did one for Halloween with the Dreadfully Red, and then of course all the elements that, showed off me and the girls for our fun that we had this Halloween. So I figured we'd come back to it and we would do another rendition. And this time we'd be using all the pockets, which I can't do anything on this page because it's so wrinkly. So we're definitely going to skip a page, and we're going to set up for this. So, I'm taking the papers that I have. A little bummed that this is printed on the back, because I always hate missing out on an opportunity. But I figured I could always reprint the background pages in a drop of a hat and, add it back into anything else we wanted to do. So the big journal pages, the decorative pages, of course, I'm not touching today. We're just going to use the background papers. We're going to use all these new pocketed things, and we're going to lay it out. It's probably going to be a 2-part deal because I can't see me getting it all done in one shot. And we'll cross our fingers that my termite inspection guy doesn't show up in the middle of all of this, because I'm really leery that my program is going to do what it needs to do. So let's cross our fingers he shows up after the fact, and we get some stuff done. So we have standards, and then we have something new. I have no idea for sure. I never got a chance to go back and look, but I know Lorette was doing these really cool fold-over things with the window pockets, and I'm just sort of running with the idea of what I saw and making my own little thing out of it, and we're just going to do an extra piece because I only have the 3 big pockets. I put a third small one here, and we're going to put a flip, like a fold-out here. So I really do like on these pages that we can fold things out. So this will be one of the last things we do since it's not part of the actual kit, but it is a fun rendition that we're going to add to it. So, where do we want to start? I guess with the pages themselves first. So I would say a little bit of craft and chat today. We're going to try to at least chit chat while we do this, but not talk too much because, well, I want to get stuff done. Oh my goodness. So, this is one of the background pages that I had created, and I had backed it with the really pale blue ones. There's 3 really simple pages, blue, pink, and yellow, for journaling, for anything you wanted to do. And then I had a little bit more decorative pages that matched every set of journal pages. So I thought this one would be really pretty since these things are more, a little more blue based, bright in colors. This one's gonna have a lot of the blue. So I figured the yellow would be a great contrast to this side. When this side's a lot of pink and yellow, so we're going to put a blue background. All right. So hopefully I did a little bit of a tease on this yesterday on my Instagram. So I'm hoping, you sort of prep maybe and you're coming along and doing this. I know some of you got a kick out of the idea of a 2-page spread just for a little play instead of always having to do a full journal. I said my Porch Prince started doing it a little bit, and I'm using, this is a journal book. You could use a this is actually a writing book, but you could hide it this way. You could use a larger that is off. I really want it. Oh, well, that's down. It's down. Okay. All right. Well, we're gonna make it work. And I meant to distress these. I always do that. I get so excited with you guys that I forget to distress what I want to distress. But I didn't glue it down that great, so we'll see. I don't know what the deal was with Porch Prince. She just got the idea. She was using a scrap, a writing book or a, what's the word? sketchbook. That's what I'm trying to say. Because they're bigger, right? They're a little bit bigger than your usual. So you can get all these pieces in here. I'm sort of hoping, but maybe I'm just going to do the page. Let's do that. Yeah, no, I started doing it in October. She was using envelopes and things from one of her fall kits, and I was like, well, that's sort of pretty. I mean, that's a great idea, right? So when Shabby's kit came out, I knew I didn't have to print the whole kit, and I knew I couldn't make a journal out of that kit and do it any justice. I thought it was a lot of fun to do just 2 pages. Why not just take 2 pages? Because they are bigger than a standard. I mean, yes, they are bigger than your papers. That's the downside here, is that once I trimmed everything, and then I trimmed it as close to the edge as I could so that there was, I wasn't cutting stuff off. My papers are wider than this book, but they're not as tall. So that was definitely the interesting part. You have to decide how the papers work out for you. But I trimmed it. I thought we would just center it to a point, and, like I said, I'm distressing around the edges just to sort of help with the whole feel. We'll do the other side better. I'm like, we will do a better job on the other side. I will remember to do what I want to do first. Maybe. I never remember. I get so excited starting with you guys. Well, I hope you're all well. Thank you for coming along and joining. I know I have new subscribers. This year has been awesome for me, due to a shout out from Lorette and Gail. I'm so glad you guys took a chance and came over to look and see what I got going. They are definitely my inspiration, so there are times where I may be like, yep, this is what's going on, and you may have seen this already. Or it's my tiny little twist on what they do. And sometimes I'm just having fun with, my kits, and I want to show you something that I thought you should do with it, and, I want to make sure you saw that possibility. Because once in a while, I actually do think outside the box a little differently than, say, Lorette or Gail. My mom's pretty creative, so for me to think of something, even the slightest bit different is a huge, accomplishment in my book. Okay, so what I wanted to do is I didn't clean this one out, so I wanted to show you how when you only trim the one side and line it up, we definitely come off the page. We're off the page here. Which is really funny because it doesn't look like it's going to fit the same way that one does. So I had to take some off. So when I just trimmed the edges, it was still too long. So I had to take a little bit more off. See, I had to take a little bit more off, which I was like, oh man, but we're going to keep it because those are great scraps for decorating. Both ends are great for little decorative edges. And before I do that, we're probably just gonna, let's do the edges here so I know exactly what I'm dealing with without doing the pages before it. Oh, that's probably right. This is probably going to be, for a while at least, a little art portfolio of the things I can do, right? Whether it's what I can do with paper or what my papers can do. It's going to work either way. But I wasn't really writing in it anymore, and I just thought once in a while, if I didn't want to do, anything else. Right now I don't feel like making anything that goes in the shop. I want to just play with my kit. And test some of this stuff out. I have some ideas to extend on some of this stuff, so I figured, well, let's play with it first, and then I'll know. So I'm using my tear ruler from We Are as a tear guide because of the fact that Tim's it only goes more like the 8.5 size, not the 11. So and I'm not folding these. If I was folding it, then I would just fold them, and I would rip the edges, and I really wouldn't worry about it. But in the meantime, I'm not. So we're going to go right there at the prejudice. So eyeball where I think I want it. Let's see if I can do this. Yeah, I did. Okay, so we'll keep that piece too. I know the other end isn't trimmed, but we'll make it work. Alright, so that seems to fit nicely. So let's just dress the edges real quick. Now this is sort of blue, and normally I would do it in silver, but since the other page is done in the antique, I will have this part match. So since it's more the background, it's the base to our page. So if you're all doing well, it is within the first week of March. Woohoo! Which is really weird. We've seen both. We have seen hints of spring, and then today, as you're seeing this, I'm a day early, so we'll hope, but it's supposed to go from 76 degrees on Wednesday to, what did they say, 56 on Thursday, and which is what you hopefully guys are watching it today. And we're supposed to have rain on and off today. Crazy, right? So I'm like, okay, I don't know if I'm liking this massive swap. My head does hurt, so I have a feeling that that headache is due to the fact that we probably have a pressure change. Yesterday was like, for us, Monday and Tuesday were like in the just shy of 80 and nice and warm out, which is great. It means I can open the house, open the doors. I don't care the cats come in and out 50 million times because I can leave that door open and not freeze. But I was actually keeping it semi-closed because I didn't want it to overheat. The house has actually been 70. I'm like, yay, it's 65 today, and I didn't have to turn the heater on this morning. Yay. Also gave the fireplace a break, which is great. But the next 4 days, we are looking at rain. We are looking at 50, mid-50s if we're lucky, and whatnot. So it's really weird. So they're a little off. I really wish I had that one had gone up a little higher. But we are putting something up high, and we do have something large here. So it'll work. This one is a little bit smaller, so, we're going to work with it. So we're going to start off with, I'm going to go small and work my way up. Maybe we'll do that. We'll see if we can get the little stuff done first. Okay, so we have one of my cards. We have one of my mini tags. And this is one of the newer pockets that I made. And I am going to totally cheat before I get any farther. Making sure I was recording still. I did give you the corners, but I'm going to use my corner puncher to make sure. And the downside is that my computer probably made a corner, a little rounder than my punch. Though my punch lately has been malfunctioning. It's an old Creative Memories punch, and I know that my crocodile, though, doesn't go this deep. So I am not using the crocodile, that's for sure. I cannot get the crocodile to go this deep in my... Darn it. Well, see here, I thought I was going to cheat. Just because I don't have the best rounding skills. And that may be, too, that I just didn't get it up high enough. Okay, not too bad. At least most of it's there. I'm just doing a little bit. Then the other thing to do is to do the notch. Some people have the square punches, like they do with round punches. I do not. But it's there. So I'm just going to... carefully eyeball this and cut it the best I can. That's all I can do. Now I have my pink distressed ink. Well, I have pink ink here to distress ink with, and I have a sagey green that is going to be our, and the teal. So yeah, I have the antique. I have the vintage photo ink. I have the hickory smoked oxide for the more grayish blue stuff. Then I have just these, I think these are from Michaels. I have a pale pink, and I have, craft, and then a sagey green that we're going to use around things today because I want, all the colors that are represented within the deals. So let's see. Now, this one I don't have a pad. I just use the edge of it because it is pretty small, and I can just scrape at it like you would with anything else, so... Probably not the way to use these things, but they were $1. They're not a really expensive ink pad. And it's great sometimes to get fun colors, though. Just for however long it lasts. And then I get to a point where I'm like, yep, I need my pinks. I know Tim has it all. My mom has like 6 pinks at least from him. And I know he just came out with a new one. Flamingo was last time. What was today? Not today, but last week. It was another pink, and I love the name of it, but I can't for the life of me remember it. Bad, right? So I figured then we would, so some things I'm going to want antique, some things I'm going to want pretty, but I thought we would, now the only downside is that all my stuff is not backed, and I started cutting things, right? Don't know what the thought process was behind that. Except it was really solid just to show you guys what was going on. And so it was more of a just like getting it done. So what I will show you, and maybe we'll do that really quick, is we will do a couple pieces real quick that if you don't have the ability to back it or it's too much of a hassle, there are many ways you can get other pieces of paper and glue to the back it and make it thicker. You can, one of my favorite things to do is stencil things. I like to stencil, we'll use this so that I don't, let's do it this way. I love to stencil on the back of things so that I still get some pattern, I still get some detail, but I'm not just covering it. Because I can debate, right? So I have this gorgeous, and I don't have the paper to see who it was. Oh, this came from one of my Happy Planner ladies. Planny Thing had her monthly ordeals, and she, oh, I don't know if that's my guy or somebody else's. Shoot, I knew that was going to be too soon. I've got people coming and going everywhere, so I don't know if my guy just showed up. Well, at least I didn't get too far. I hate to wait, but okay, we'll keep going for the moment. But I love to do the stenciling. So I'll take my stencils that I have from everywhere and try to do that, which won't work. Hold on. Oh, let's get the proper brushes here. Let's make sure there's no more orange in this thing. I will get little makeup brushes and try to get them wet. And then I will just go ahead and try to lightly, and we really do want light. I want to be able to still write on these, but I want a little something to break up all the white. Besides just inking the edges, I want a little more than that, right? And because they're overlapped, I am going to run with it. And I'm okay with that. So I may have to go, and I pray that this comes back. If I come back and you see me already half done with this, you'll know why. But that's okay. Well, it'll work. So there you go. See, something really simple. It's really light. And like the cards, I may not do a lot of anything because I want to be able to write on it. I want to be able to do some stuff. So, but this one is the back, the inside of an envelope. And so I know I want the design. I want the fun of it because it's just going to get folded and things are going to get stuffed inside it. So I can go a little darker. I can have a little more fun with it. So. And look, super simple, super easy. Doesn't have to be perfect. Doesn't have to be, you know, eminent. No, we are going to put leaves on here too, but I'm going to do all the pink first. And then clean it off and go back and do the green because I have leaves also. But yeah, this was a stencil that came from a lady from the Netherlands. She puts together Happy Planner box, or had Happy Planner boxes. Now she's into sticker books and stuff. And it was a great little addition to the kit we got. Whoops, let's try not to do that. To the kit we got, she provided 1 month stencils. And so we had, was one of the roses. She was doing, I want to say February, March of last year. Gosh, it could be that way. I've had it for that long already. It's going to be perfect. It's going to be great. And I know she's right there in the middle, but I want to make sure I get enough possible corner pieces that, you know, when we cut it out, there's enough. So this is a great way to sort of cover the back and not feel like you have to, you know, cover with a piece of paper or just rely on the distressing of the edges. Okay, so then let's, love the bottom of that one. What is this one? Oh, it's my big curl. Okay, let's do, again, and I'm just doing, you know, maybe it's just the corners and then distressing around the rest of it so that it's not, doesn't have to be patterned all the way, but it doesn't feel super pale and light. It doesn't have just the, you know, the one end to it. So, all right, let's see. Yeah, just pale, just something. And this one I might do just a little, I have a little rose, so let's do a little rose in the other corner. Yes, I did it right. Okay, make sure I didn't do it like completely upside down or whatever. Let's put one in this corner. We're going to go little. But yeah, so I get to decide and design and enjoy both ends. Now this probably takes a little longer than just getting a piece of paper and gluing it to the back. But I sort of enjoy the idea. And knowing that it's not, you know, yes, it's good to use up all your stuff, but at the same time, I'm like, sorry guys, at the same time, we get to just enjoy the, now I do have a pad if I was going to do anything thicker for the green. I had a project where I could actually, you know, deal with that. So I love the roses on this end. I wish they were a little smaller because they're not going to be, I'm going to have to do just that little bitty. We're going to do just that little spot. Really light, because this is where the green could get a little crazy. And it is definitely thin. Okay, I'm like, it's definitely thin. So funny when we're trying to figure out how to do these, right? How much pressure, what to do. debating on everything. I don't think I'm going to do the leaf that overlaps into the flower. Nope, just that. Okay. So that's not bad, right? You can write right over it. Not a huge deal. I know, I want more. I always want more. Oh, my fingers are so numb today. So hopefully this goes all right. I've been doing a lot of yard work. We have our neighbor who's bought the house and is working on it, his house. And it's been, you know, he's getting to that point where he's almost done. And so he's finally working on our fence. 5 years ago, a major storm in 2016, 2017 took down, you know, sections of all 3 fences of mine, so all 3 neighbors. And see, there we go. Little corner. Look, corners are a little I'm weird about my cutting. But look at that. Really simple. Little distressed, a little decorated, so it doesn't feel too bad. And this kit at this point can be white. It does not have to be like a creamy whatever. And if it was really too much, I could just, you know, start adding a little bit of distress to it in spots just to get it to be a little less, right? It gives another little texture to it. Really carefully, very careful, because every little thing will show a circle, but that gives that, it's hard to see. I don't know if you can even tell. But I distressed it, and there's a little bit where the presses, there's some where little circles are overlapping. So it gives some texture, so it's not bright white. And that side is white, though. That side is white. We are a white card. This kit did lend to a very, if it wasn't cream, wasn't yellow from the paper, it was white. It sure was white. It sure was white. All right, so we'll go back to that one in a little bit, which we'll finish that, because that's going to go inside a pocket later. Oh, the flower. Nope, yeah, this one I think we're just going to do, this one's all antique. We're just going to antique the back of this one. I just have the pretty pale flower on it, because there's flowers on the other side. You know, and the same thing, we're just going to sort of lightly brush over it. Not, you know, just to take a little bit of the white out of it. Ta-da! Right. Now, I may go back and decorate this one. We'll see. But the goal is to do like that inside the pocket. So, I figured this is going to be the first pocket with stuff in it. Okay, we're going to... And the funny thing is, it's designed to be upright, but I saw the possibility of putting it on its side, because I figured it was pretty neutral. And we could tuck it like that so you can see stuff. So we will have to put something here on top, because can't leave that plain. That's just not possible. That shouldn't be allowed. Then the next step is to put, now this one technically is 2. This is a tag. It should go straight up. But I picked a little more neutral band, so I didn't feel like the ladies had to be on their side. And we're going to overlap it. And I'm going to let this one stick out a little bit, because I have a tab on this one, right, to say Halloween of 2021. So I'm going to want to be able to write spring of 22. Right, it's March, it's my birthday month. Spring comes, daylight savings comes, St. Patrick's Day. Like, March is just a busy little month. So, for me at least, I feel it's a busy month. So I'm going to put spring of 2022 on the tab, so I know when I did it, I know what it's representing. So I'm going through this, I have moments in somewhat chronological order of what's going on. So the fun thing would be to do a summer one next, which I have a kit coming out in April or 1st of May that I think is going to be a great summer kit. So I'm really stoked about that one. So this one, though, I think we're going to put a hinge on it. And we're going to, though it is, stuffed within itself, we're going to hinge it up so you can open it to see this one better. And we may have some fussies left over that maybe, I decorate corners. We put a little label tag here. We'll decorate this somehow underneath it. Once we get going, we see what we have left. We will know. But it'll pop open to reveal the pocket here. And then this is the scallop pocket that's going to go here right underneath it. So I make sure I put that right. That is going to be stuffed with stuff on top. So that is what we're thinking of there. So I'm going to make sure we have enough of everything in the right spot. So we'll start gluing some stuff down and start working our way up. So start working on the right side first. I don't know why. I'm left-handed, so it's sort of shocking that I'm working on the right. And it is not super warm out here, and I didn't think about warming this up. Oh, let's cross our fingers. that this baby is going to do its job. I thought I'd be done with this thing by now. I bought a new one in like October, November, so that, you know, I had stuff through the holidays, and here we are in March and I still have glue, and I'm like, I'm sort of shocked. Just means I'm not making as much as I thought, even though I made 2 February journals, 2 February/Valentine journals. I made the 2 minis, which had a lot of stickers and stuff, so I guess I didn't use as much glue on that one. And yeah, I mean, I made 2 little ones and 2 large journals, and yet I had enough glue. I'm like, and I had enough glue. Just barely. I don't know. I'm really, it's temperamental as usual, but I have a little 4 ounce, because these are what, 8 ounces? Yeah, it's 8 ounces. So I have a little 4 ounce for whenever I'm ready. There we go. And I love how this one does happen to stick out. So we're going to let things stick out. We're going to be able to do stuff. So this one we may, you know, put some lace on the outside here, so it lays flat. We're going to decorate this. We'll put some kind of label and decor here that's flat on the page. So when you flip up the tag pocket, you know, there's something underneath it to keep looking at. And the fun thing is this tab, you know, won't be permanent. It won't be something that's stuck to the page. So I'll have to be careful with that too. But, or we leave it and then I have a faux one underneath it. We may do a secondary right underneath it. So we have both maybe, so that it keeps it solid. And we don't worry about it becoming, you know, coming apart. So this one on the other hand is going to take a little bit more work. And I need to get my fabric tack, because if we want to put the clear cover in the pocket, I noticed that, what do you want to call it, glue, isn't your friend. I tried to do like a shaker and stuff, and when you use any kind of clear plasticky whatever, glitter glue just sort of spreads. It sort of spreads itself out. Sorry, I have to see if I can get some glue on here. I can't take the edges, and I don't know how ladies do it with that, just the sticky tape stuff. I don't know how they do it. I mean, I'm not giving this away. I'm not, you know, this is mine to keep. I can have it as little or as much as I want, but I don't know. Loose edges sort of bug me now. I'm like, loose edges bug me. All right, so I want to move this to the side just a little bit, because I don't want to be working on top of this too much. But isn't it turning out so pretty? It's already just, I think it's already pretty. It's already yummy. Just the pages alone are yummy, right? Whoopsie. Oh, that comes out. I'll have to keep an eye on that. Well, I didn't think there we go. Well, we'll still have her peekaboo out, but she won't peekaboo out as much as we thought. And I'm going to get glitter everywhere. Okay. So we'll put this aside carefully. So far, so good. Whoever I heard, I think, was next door, so that should be a good thing. Whoopsie. So these are the cute, taller pocket tags. That, I don't have 2 of them, that we created. Some, you know, one has a window on it so that you can see what's inside it, and one is totally decorated. So, the other one is this one. This is where you got a fully decorated girl with the hole punch, and you could just stick something in there as, you know, peeking out, and you could decide what's going on with it. So this one, and you got a number of these, so I decided to pick this one to go with the kit. Now, we definitely want to make sure that we do what we ink before we do anything else, so there's no questions. Now, I have sort of a light color. We're on blue, so I think I'm going to go a little bit more silvery on this one. This is going to be a combination of the pockets might be some silver with hints of the vintage when I feel we need a little bit of that. But I feel that this is definitely going to be the funner part, since I naturally have a gray-brown distressed around the edges of my work when I'm creating it for you guys. Oh, okay. Oh, well, my guy showed up. I'll be right there. All right, well, the guy showed up, so I will come back. We'll cross our fingers, and all will continue on. Be right back. Oops, sorry about that. Okay, we are back. Sorry about that. Yeah, he did show up, and I didn't hear the doorbell. I thought I'd hear the doorbell in the garage. Because literally, I mean, I guess the garage door thing is, the doorbell is in the hallway, I guess, technically. But I thought for sure. And, but also, with what comes with the doorbell usually comes with a dog barking. And with no doggy, then, you know, there's no barking. So that has been a little hard. Like, oh, I'm so glad I don't have the barking anymore. But at the same time, I don't have my little announcer, I guess, you know. So anyway, so yes, he had shown up. Oh well, all's good. No termites in the house, no termites outside the house, so we're good. He checked everything out, and I guess they start ramping up in April around here. So we want to make sure everything's good. Okay, so there's just a little bit. Helps tighten it up as the helicopter goes over. Hopefully you don't have to hear that. And I did cut these to where and made them to where everything sort of sat inside each other so that everything has just sort of a little bit of a lip, which I think is a good thing too. So I've been doing pretty short videos lately, and so this is going to be a little longer because we are actually working on a full project. I'm not just playing around. And I really want to just do it with you guys. So this will definitely have 2 parts. Since I already killed out 30 minutes just, I don't know, discussing, showing, and getting the first pages. Like the first thing that's put down. But we will crack the whip here and get this taken care of. And hopefully this all works out. I have just enough time before I have to get my daughter, so who knows. Okay, so the thing is, before I nail it down, of course, though, we need to get some kind of clear cover. And I was really bummed when I realized when I talked to you guys when I was revealing this kit, and this part 2 of this reveal, when we were talking about all these lovely pockets, that my idea for the teacher's name tags for the kids wasn't going to work. I was like, oh, this will be really great. And then I realized one side would be sticky. Those name tags that I got from Target way back when, like 2 years ago, are sticky on one side so that they stick to the table and you can slide the names in and out. Duh. So, yeah, we're going to be a little more crafty about it. So I think later what I want to do is use the back half of these that is sticky, like put things in between them and use that sticky to seal it type of window, which we'll do later. But for right now, we're going to simply, I'm going to cut right along the seam, and I'm going to use just the top half as a clear thing that we're going to glue on. So I'm going to cut it as close as I can to the seam because I need every last inch of width until I know for sure like what I need. I may decide to glue it all the way out across to make sure there's no issues. I may decide to trim it, but let's get something started here. Enough. I've cut these things in half. I've used them in planners. I've used them in all kinds of things. All right, so I'm almost, oh, I'm good right there. Okay, so this, my left side's good. I have the right height. We want to make sure we have enough. You know, it's one thing to trim it down, but let's go across here and across our fingers. So I still have a pouch on the bottom if I want to use it. And right here, I'm thinking if I put something where, you know, I can put a fussy cut up against the glue and flip it around the back side, and I could seal in like stuff. Oh, I caught that side. Ooh. So I think I can still use the sticky stuff, just not the way I expected, and that's okay. Now, there's still some. Oh, yeah, that's where I cut the sticky off. Whoopsie. I got too little excited there. Now, I guess before I get too good, let's just see. It's a little off, so we will definitely trim up and clean up this stuff. But yeah, find your plastic, find any kind of, I think even cellophane, like I think even the cellophane bags, like you could use, if it was clean enough, because this one is not, you could just glue down the cellophane bag for something really light too, if you didn't want to go heavy. I'm going a little heavier because we are going to be sticking things in and out, and I want to make sure that we don't, it doesn't rip too easy, that it doesn't have that kind of issue. So I'm going to trim the edges off a little bit, see if I can make it a little narrower, because I want to make sure, it's dirty though, goodness gracious, it is dirty. Let me see if I can find something. I have a dry wipe, but I don't think that's going to help. A dry wet one, but I don't know if it's going to like buff it out. No, that's it. It's like cleaning the glass to a photo, right? To a frame. And you're trying to clean it, but you have to hold it, so as holding it, you get fingerprints on it. It's like, really? How am I supposed to do this? I'm hoping it does work. I'm using it just to sort of buff out the sticky stuff or whatever I have accumulated. Because believe me, I find it, I use it. As clean as I can get it. Clean as I can get it. I don't know. Okay, so let's see if I put it down. I know you're probably getting a reflection, But I think it works. I know I'm going this way. It's a little wrinkly, but I think that's sort of cool. Because I think it gives me, oh yeah, plenty big. But I really want to make sure it glues down. And there's no point trimming it off at this point because, like, it's not going to do anything. And two, I could now I know for sure I can like cover this whole area in glue and no, I'm not going to have too much left over. But yeah, I realize that the tacky fabric tack is definitely better for the clear sticky stuff. Or the clear type of thing. When I try to do it before, for some reason, yeah, the glitter glue just sort of smears. It smears across of it, and if you don't have a lot of space, that glue ends up like in your workspace or in your view. And it does take a lot longer to dry. Surprising, because glitter glue dries so fast. But not in this case. I did notice. In this case, I was like, oh, okay. Plus, if I glue it all the way to the top, I know that when we push it in on the, you move a little bit too. That when, I may have to trim the bottom off. When I put it down, yeah, it just doesn't move as much. It doesn't spread. It sort of stays put, which is the whole point. I did notice, like I said, that, oh, almost. Oh. I did notice that the glitter glue moved a lot. And glitter glue is supposed to dry really fast, but not underneath plastic or cellophane or whatever. Does not move fast. But yeah, right now I'm doing this. Like I said, I just noticed that I have that cellophane, which might make for a good cover too. I just used up that whole thing. I know I have another one of these now. You can cut out the scallop pouch. This one around, I think we're going to distress it and we're going to just decorate it or collage over this one as I suggested. But the next time around, when we go to do the new addition to this one, which will be up in a couple weeks, I'm making another digital out of this lovely kit. We are gonna want the whole, clear cellophane pocket thing. So I'm excited about that. I am so excited. I have this great birthday, Mother's Day mini kit that I want to do like I did with the file folders last year. So I am all stoked about that. So that will be up. That's my next thing. Since the black and white came out this week, then my next endeavor is thy Scout file folders. Now, I think I'm trying to debate, do I want to use the tacky? I may have to use the same tacky glue because the edges are so close to the paper and the plastic. I'm wondering if I need to use the same. I think I'm going to stick to the tacky glue too. Not too wide though. That's my only worry, is that this is not as thin as glitter glue, because I don't want to lose any space. Now, my tags are not super thick, but they are close. They are close to the size of the pocket. Now I can always trim down and trim up the sides a little bit, but I want to make sure I've got the glue in the right spot. I definitely have issues with this. I don't know. Like if I leave it on its side, it starts going out, but that doesn't guarantee I'm going to get glue. That doesn't mean I'm actually going to get glue. Alright, so we return to me, and, this is the second half hour of the video as we keep working on this, and we'll see how far I get. Right? I'm trying really hard. What are you guys up to? I know I did a lot of videos past 2 months, and I can't believe 2 months is gone already. I cannot believe we are in March, people. This is crazy. Who knew? Oh, we should have known that this year was going to go by just as fast as every other year. Hold on, let me... I was going to make it better or worse. Of course, I'm getting stuff everywhere. I'm trying to see if I could sort of seal that bottom, because it is definitely not... Oh, it was definitely open. Alright, let's... No, I don't want to use that. I need to find some trash. Find a trash piece of paper that I am not keeping. There we go. Because, yeah, after all that work, this thing will bubble up like crazy. But doesn't actually, it gets air bubbles in it, which is fine, I guess. But, okay, there's that. So we have that done. And all we have to do is insert this. And I definitely, oh no. There we go. It's going to take a little work. Okay. I definitely want to find a fussy cut. We're going to go right there. Perfect. And we're going to decorate this corner. Because, even though it's sitting here, we want it to flip up. We want some... Maybe we'll do some lace and some fussy cuts to that. one of my flowers. I don't know if I have flowers. Did I put mine on sticker paper? I don't know what I did, I think. I did do stickers, which would make it somewhat clear, which would be sort of cool. Last week was the, my goodness, what did I do with it? Oh, last week, this week was the black and white kit. Last week was a bunch of random things, and I printed them on black. I printed them on white. Well, that's not a bad thing either. I don't know if I have any clusters. This would actually be really pretty for something different. I mean, though, similar coloring, but a different graphic. Otherwise, I do have fussy cuts on this too. So, I thought maybe I had those unclear, but we'll put some kind of fussy cut floral in this corner and some lace on it, and or lace across the bottom, and a fussy cut to help decorate this soon-to-be fold up. Now, the back is going to need to be decorated, though, because we are flipping it up. We are going to see this. I either need a stencil all the way across like I did the other things, or I could flip it up and make it another writing space, so we definitely want to keep that in mind, that you may want to flip it all the way up and write on it. I don't think I have any, or that, or I'm just going to glue on another piece of paper. I do have some pink, I don't know what's, I might have some pink eco dyed paper. That's peach. But that sort of goes too. That's pretty. I could just center something on there to write on. It'd help hide it also will help hide the hinge a little bit. So I'm thinking we're going to do that. And what if, ooh, you know me, what if I just centered it with something to write on, but no one says it has to be completely useless. What if we glue down the one side, then we could just flip it open and you had all this writing space. I love that. And we're going to put a tiny little notch on the top so we can see where to flip it open. Yeah, I'm into these like constant like little notebook writing moments. That little notch. I know, totally off center probably. I'm working off center, which is bad. Alright, so we pop that open. You have a little notch where you know where to open it. Let's get this one. We're going to want a little more distressed because it's like more of an antique piece of paper. And we're going to, it's actually a pretty color with the peach too. So the peachy pink color I got in a Happy Mail. I placed an order for some eco dyed from one of my friends, one of my Etsy acquaintances. And so it was nice because I had gotten this coloring in one of her things. This was either from her completely pink packet, like she did everything pink. She did pink eco dye, and then went ahead and added like all kinds of cute goodies to it. It's a cute kit to buy. Split it between me and my mom because my mom does a lot of pink shabby stuff. And I don't do the middle because I want you to write straight through and not worry about it. Oof. It is a little... I think I'm going to do, to be on the safe side, is we're going to do a little bit of a washi tape on the outside to help reinforce it a little bit, because it's going to flip up and down, but not the inside, because I want you to write straight through. And I know I have one that will work nice here. That is definitely pink. I think it's golden. It's golds and like browns. And so let's try this. Let's see what this looks like. That's pretty. And it's only on the one side. Really not going to see a lot of it because we won't do too much on this end. I'll just do a hint of it on that side. Well, not a hint. And it'll be the other way around. Ha ha. Oh well. Oh, that's okay. I like that, but it will reinforce it so that it will not keep ripping. That I love paper, but it does have a tendency. It will, you know, it gets a little crunchy, and we don't want to lose it. So we have a little bit there. Totally fine with that. Let's make sure we are putting everything on the correct side. So we're going to want to glue it to that. So you're going to open it. You're going to flip it open, and then you're going to flip it open. Ah, so much fun. Okay. Now, I try to, when I can, make sure the hinge blends in. I did it with the other one, with the red one, I believe. I did where I could when I hinged it. I tried to use, like, the background paper where I could so that it blended right in. So it was either that or covered under the paper. So just depending. This one was a black, I used a black hinge, so it was underneath the paper. Yeah, so it was black under the paper or background paper. So let's see if we can find a scrap. And that is not enough of a hinge. That would be really thin and it would not hinge well. So we can't do that. I wonder if. I don't think I have anything that I did print the back on that I can use. Shoot. I was trying to see if I had anything that, I mean, I have cards and things I could use, but I hate to use a whole tag or card just for that purpose. Oh, you know what? We're going to be using, I'm not using all of this. This one is using maybe that on the back. And I was debating on using this for the inside. So if I wanted to take, I know there was something else I was going to try for, but I think I was going to end up using that and that. Maybe that top corner, but I bet you I could take this out right here, which I hate to do, but I want the blue. So I really need the blue to hinge it with. We'll do that. That'll work. Let's put it to good use because I'm using this corner for here on this blue, so I need to make sure I don't use that by accident. So I think we cut off the white and we have a good blue. I really do like when the hinges sort of blend in and we're not having it stick out so much. Now it is lighter than this, but it's still in the same tone, so I don't feel too bad about it. It's not perfect, but unless we make it really obvious and I use that. Maybe I like that I did better. I'm going to take that back, right? Let's do it all wishy-washy. Sorry guys, I'm off camera. I am cutting it off and into the trash bin directly because I'm trimming off the little edges that drive me insane. Well, let's do that. Okay. Never mind. What if we left, because it's going to be a writing spot, what if we enhanced that, or we utilized it, right? We made it worthwhile, and we're going to glue it half and half and just fold it. So, yeah, let's just fold this sucker in half. I know the blue, but that was really pale blue, so I think, well, if it's going to stick out, let's make it worthwhile, right? Okay. Excitement. I'm loving when things work out somehow, right? We see the creative juices, we get the moment going. But hopefully everybody's doing well. Like I said, weird weather here, 80s one moment, or mid-70s one moment. Well, it's 80s to mid-70s. And then tomorrow, or today, which is for you guys, will be Thursday when you're watching this. Yeah, we are looking at like maybe a high of 59 or 54. I don't know. It's like it ranges from like 53 to 59 for the next 4 days. I did not put that in the right spot. Oh, come on down. Come down. Oh, no. Oh, okay, well, we'll just refold it and hope that it works. If you don't get it low enough, the hinge is going to be a problem. So we're going to have to fold that out a little bit. That's the only downside about doing this first. I'm going to refold it the other direction so that I know where I need to drop it down to. Because I believe if that hinge is not lined up right, it's going to catch. Okay, so I'll glue that on afterwards, and I need to make sure I have enough clearance. We're going to put this guy, it is going to overlap upward. I want it just on the edge, but I don't think I want it sticking out. I don't need too many ends. And then, so maybe right there, just a smidge down. Okay, so now, try not to move anything, right? Apparently, there's pressure in my bottle. And that's the funny thing is there's so little glue left in this bottle, and yet it can pop to the top every time I use it because there's a little bit of pressure. Which is, you know, it's cool in the mornings and it's warm at night, or warm in the day and cool at night. And so, of course, my thing is doing its job. There we go. Okay, so undo that. I'll go back here and we're going to press it down. Probably, and I would think that I would distress it, but then maybe not because I don't know how much I really want it to stick out. And I may decide to cover that with lace, so I don't know, maybe. Okay, bring it down, bring it down. It is catching, so that's where it needs to be. Okay. I might have to do a little bit of gluing. Oh, I'm looking at this upside down. Give me a moment, ladies and gentlemen. Turn this I've got to make sure that that fold, that second fold we created after the fact, is actually glued down in place. Otherwise, I think it'll keep trying to set up to the first fold. Yes, there we go. Okay, that'll help. Okie dokie. Oh, that was my idea. That's right. I forgot. Okay, so, yes, I still want a fussy cut. I still want some fussy cut and lace. But I think what I was doing, I took a bunch of my flowers that I made last year, the spring flowers. I printed them on basic everyday paper, like super thin, which makes it really hard to layer with. So I went ahead, and hopefully not getting glared too much, I went ahead and laminated, cut them out and laminated them. And so I thought, you know what, wouldn't that be cute with the yellow? Because the other two colors don't match. But wouldn't it be cute to do the double yellow butterfly, even though it's shiny, on here? So maybe we'll put a flower here, we'll lace it, we'll put a flower, and then we'll do the double layering yellow butterfly with the laminate, just to see how it turns out. I'll have to see how that distresses and how it stays. Or we don't distress it. Maybe it won't be. It'll be very white on top of speckled. But that'll be fine. I keep forgetting about that. That's what I think I was going to do. Because the other two colors, or three colors, don't go. Though I do have a blue in there. Ooh, I do have a blue. That's pretty, this blue one is actually close to that. If I want to add some blue to the pink, that would be cute too. Alright, so I do have two potential butterfly setups. Alright, so we are hinged with our little tab. Right, so we can write spring of 2022 on here or underneath it. So that when we close the book, I can see what's going on. This tab did end up a little thinner. A little lower, but that's okay. Sorry about that. Let's go back to here. What is coming? Oh, my little things. Okay, so we have our hinge and our tab. And now let's get this down so I don't forget. And I'm probably going to, we're going to start off with the, yes, we're going to start off with a stick. We're going to glue stick it first. And then I will debate on whether I need to like hit certain corners of it up with the glitter glue. Just so I can see how, because lately I get a little heavy with the glue gun, or with the, what do you want to call it, with the glitter glue, and we end up with, I don't know, just a lot of wrinkles. So this I feel better, it's all reinforced, it shouldn't keep, and see, it just doesn't cover the hinge, but it sort of like shows it. There we go. I can do a little bit of distressing on the end here, get a little darker because it is the tab, and I don't want the dirty look, but I know it's definitely hickory smoked. It definitely has that smoked feel when you're doing this. So, all right, so we have a writing space, which we didn't expect, which I'm all stoked about that. So do my birthday month. I know I have my hubby and my kids are going to be taking me to a fancy dinner at the end of the month. We haven't gone out in a long time. It's been we tried a little over two and a half years ago, and it didn't go so well. We did it too close to one of his treatments, and it didn't go well. So we haven't been back in a while. So we thought, well, the girls are old enough, and it's gonna be expensive no matter what we do. But you know, it's the one time we get to go out. We didn't get to do anything for my 40th. So we're heading into 2 years later. So hubby really wants to make an effort. And then one of my girlfriends wants to go do the toes and the lunch thing. So I have some good things, good memories for the end of the month. Very feminine and very girly and birthday love. So I have a feeling this is going to be a great way to show that off, like we did with Valentine's. I mean, not Valentine's, Halloween. Okay, so this one is can be a great window like we did with this one. Or, as I mentioned, you can collage across this, cluster on it, decorate how, distress it, ink it, put some florals on it, maybe put a little bit of some, fussy cuts behind it. Like, you could just really decorate the space up because there is a white spot if you didn't have anything to make it an actual window, right? I know I left it there, but I also didn't put any wording in it so that you could decorate it and not feel like, like, oh, I have this window and I have to cut it out. And then everything in it was going to fall out. So, because the goal is to stuff it. It is a stuffed pocket, scalloped. The goal is to put all these fun little things in it. If it's a window, then you get to see everything you're stuffing in there. because it's not a window, we'll make sure we glue this down enough to where nothing falls through and we have room. But like this little guy could be good. I feel like we should cluster this one. Like I feel the front, because some of these spots are smaller, I so want to like, I'll take that off, cluster this up. I want to cluster. I know clustering is the word too, but collage. That's what I mean to say. So I cut these all really clean and we layered them. I wonder if we could just do that. Like we could distress the backing a little bit. We could totally collage on top of this and then still stuff things in between. And so then this one is pre-cut because I loved it. Totally forgot I had it out. But in reality, I was going to do this one too. We were going to stamp. We already started stamping the back of this one, but I have plenty of pockets and things coming up, so we may do both. Right, because they were supposed to be nice and cute and little, to put the little ephemera pieces in here if you want to put a little card in there, or put a little piece of floral in there, or make it a little secret pocket. Maybe we just close it and you can open it up and write on it. So maybe we'll make one closed in and we'll do one that we can open. So maybe this one will be closed and this one we'll leave open with distress to make a little note in it. So we will do both of those still. I've got that. Okay, so gonna have to cut it short. I have to go get my daughter and I don't want to have to do this one more time to you guys. Right? This one's cute. I wonder if I can cluster a little bit more. Then maybe this might be a fun one. If I try to clean it up a little bit more or just distress across it, this might be fun with a label off the top here and a corner piece to decorate with. So that might be fun. So we'll see what that comes up with. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching, loving, commenting, subscribing, and making sure you have those notifications. I have changed my time. I'm not coming up at 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time in the morning anymore. I'm going to try for 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I worked really well on Tuesday. A lot of you came in the first 24 hours and saw my 12 o'clock reveal. So I'm loving that. Making me extremely stoked that seems to be working, that you guys seem to be happy with waiting a while and seeing me later in the day, whether it's for lunch, whether it's, an afternoon delight. You're just taking a moment and seeing what I have going. And I have a feeling more of you are seeing me because I'm not coming up with everybody else. There's so many people who start first thing in the morning, and which is awesome. I think that's great. But since I'm a little bit more of a slower, not even slower, just, a different genre and a different grouping, I think coming up a little later in the day is not so bad. So thank you for watching on Tuesday. I'm so stoked you're here today, that you are watching it again, and that you are hopefully having a little afternoon delight with me. Oops. And you are enjoying what we're up to, what we're doing, and, or having some creative moments, and you'll create along if you haven't already. Like I said, go pick up this kit or any kit. I mean, any kit that has a lot of pockets, I guess, or interesting pieces that we can make pockets out of. And let's go ahead and work together. I know this is a really large kit, so I know it's a little much just for a few pockets and a little spread. But this can be done with any kit, anything that has pockets. I normally give you a decent amount of pockets. They're smaller. You could take the larger tags and do this with it. You could do this with the larger journal cards. You could make it a variety of pockets, tucks, and flaps on any journal card. So I'm off the page. I shouldn't do that to you guys. I'm trying to fussy cut this while I'm talking to you guys, so we're always moving forward. But you can use anything that's in the larger size. Like actually a fun piece would be my Garden Stroll is in teals and pinks, and it has if you just want journal cards and pockets, envelopes, I have a large ephemera kit in the Garden Stroll side. It's under the, I think, a fussy cut and ephemera, I believe. Or just look at under or just type in Garden Stroll into my shop. Go to my shop. Just type in and search for Garden Stroll, and I will link it here in the description also. And it has a bunch of larger pieces. It has it has 2 or 3 different envelopes. It has journal cards. It has tags. I was just getting into, I was doing a lot of small stuff, and I decided to make some bigger things. And so why don't you go ahead, and you can always go over there too, if you don't want to buy this big old large kit for Touch of Romance. Go to check the Garden Strolls large ephemera set, and that would give you all kinds of fun little pieces, not little, I said fun ephemera pieces to make a spread like this. And then you could decorate with any of your fun vintage blue, pink, fussy cuts, florals, journal cards. Then you could decorate with whatever you had in your stash, and you could craft along with me. So there's 2 ways to go about it, right? Take out your touch of romance and let's do this. Or go ahead and get something like my Garden Stroll large ephemera kit, which would give you a variety of envelopes and tags and cards and pockets to design with. And you could follow along and try to make your own rendition of this lovely 2-page spread. So there you go, people. But I will put this kit and that Garden Stroll one as a suggestion in the bottom descriptions. Go ahead and look into it on my shop and see if that's something you want to do. So that way, come next week, hopefully you've caught up to the same spot or in area with me, and you'll continue to journal with me next week as we get this one nailed down. We'll get it all glued down and inked, and then we'll start working on the second side, which is that larger tag pocket and this interesting window flap we're working on. Or we're going to do this angled flap, double, triple pocket, and pocket down here that I'm going to try to create and work on, just because that's the scraps that I have. So thank you again so much. It's Julie with a Jewel Design, and we are just having a ball with this double page pocketed spread on a lovely Thursday afternoon. So we'll talk to you all soon. Have a great day. Bye-bye.